Hi there, good day, friends and fans of personal development class. I am Instructor Faith coming your way again on this lovely Thursday, and I believe you are faring well. Okay, you're welcome. Please, if you are online, please do well and make a comment. Uh, let's know if our setup is right. You can just drop a comment and we'll make progress from here. Okay, all right. Right now it's lovely to have you back on class as we look at meal planning. Remember, we started off by teaching on meal planning for pregnant women, and we kind of saw the need to have good nutrition at that stage of life because you are feeding as a mother both for yourself and for your baby. And so we saw that in the bid to um, achieve the development of a healthy baby, a healthy fetus, and when you give birth, to save yourself from after birth complications, you should have good nutrition. We went on now to look at feeding the newborn baby. We saw the meal plan for the newborn baby. We made ourselves to understand that exclusive breastfeeding is vital because it has the nutrients that the baby would need. It's safe, it's void of germs, and if at all there's need for the use of formulas, we also advise ourselves that we should give the best um, care, making sure that we have a healthy meal for the baby. We don't want to expose the baby to germs. We don't want to expose the child to any health hazard because at that level the immunity is very, very low, which is why the World Health Organization, keep emphasizing exclusive breast milk. But we have come to understand for some other reasons, exclusive breastfeeding may not be easy to achieve. And so whichever it is that you choose to do, just make sure that you are giving your baby the sufficient nutrients. We want to ensure that the baby is a healthy baby, growing up to become a healthy adult. Remember, when everyone in society is healthy, then there's posterity for that community, for that society. There's able workforce that will push the development of that society. And that's why it is very, very important for me to talk on nutrition. Now we want to progress as we look at the next stage of the childhood development. We have seen the newborn babies. Now we are still looking at the infant stage. I told you that the infant stage has to do with the stage of the newborn baby at birth, then you go to infancy, then you move on to the toddler stage and all that. About 5 of the stages, but now we want to look at the infant stage. The infant stage actually is from 2 months to 12 months old, and it's very important we see that these babies are well fed. Please, if you are online and you're just joining us, I would love to have your comments, and you can just say hello, you can just say hi. I want to be sure of sounds and I want to be sure that you are seeing me. Okay? All right, let's make some progress. We are looking at meal plan for infants, and we said that 2 to 12 months of age is the period of infancy. Now, breast milk still remains a vital feed or meal for the baby. In fact, from 0 to 6 months, you expect that the baby is on absolute breast milk, or if there's a need for baby formula, because he at that time or she at that time cannot digest food items. If you give the baby food stuff, there's no way it can be of benefit. His body cannot break down the food or meal that you have offered. So it's very important that it's milk that the baby feeds on. Okay, now at age 6 months, conventionally we know that it's time for the baby to start getting introduced to solids. Yes, solids. Even at that, the solids are still limited. It's not everything the baby can take at that stage. And so I felt that it's very important to call ourselves to attention, because we have seen now that so many things are happening out there. The Gen Z mothers, they just want to rush up things, they just want to be fast with everything, the process, they can't wait to just go through. If it were possible that their babies should just come whole as adults and fall from the sky, I think the Gen Z mothers will appreciate that. But you see, we serve a God of process. Okay, everyone has to grow to become an adult, and while you are growing, there are principles, there are process, there are procedures you have to embrace to make sure you get there as you become an adult. So for your baby at 6 months of age, you are to introduce solids gradually, and this time around you're going to be bringing in iron fortified infant single grain meals, single grain cereals, single grain. You can hear that, single, because their body cannot digest complex grains. I've seen mothers mumble things together to just feed their babies. It's wrong. Instead of the baby to be healthy, you are overstressing the body, and at the end of the day, you may not have a healthy baby, which is the aim or goal that this class is out for. So make it a single grain cereal. It could just be millet alone. You process it and serve your baby. It could just be the corn alone. It could just be guinea corn. Any of the grains you want to use, you just use a single one. Well, good enough. We have processed meals now for infants. But when you are buying, please check, read all the information given, make sure that it's a single grain cereal product that you are buying, fortified with iron, please, for your baby. Okay, now even at this, you do not still stop breastfeeding. Breastfeeding continues. In fact, we are going to look at something now, and it's interesting to know that breast milk is still fundamental in this infant stage. And so let's continue from there. Now, the meal time for infants usually include early mornings. They wake up very early. If you are a new mom, you have to know your baby can wake up as early as 2 a.m. looking for food. Yes, give the baby food. So during that early mornings, you go on exclusive breast milk. Just feed your baby with milk. Then when it's breakfast time, then you want to introduce your single grain cereal and also supplement with breast milk. When you are mixing the single grain what's it called, cereal, please, you're not going to use pasteurized milk. The baby cannot break down that. So either you are using your breast milk, you're using water, or you're using there's this one that I saw, I call it the pasteurized milk, that is 3.25% homogenized. 3.25% homogenized whole cow milk is still too heavy at 6 months. We are looking at from 9 months to 12. That's when you can introduce that 3.25 homogenized cow milk for your baby meals. So please use breast milk to mix, use water to mix the whole grain single cereal for the baby. Okay, all right. Now the snack time for the baby will go on exclusive breast milk. It's not time to give the baby biscuits. Oh my God, I see a lot of things and it gets me so alarmed, because I too was a mom at that stage, and we didn't bring biscuits, hard solids like that to the children at that early stage. Instead, we mashed, mice, and just give them little meals. If at all, we must introduce the one that we are eating to them. Just very, very little. It's majorly whole grain single cereal cups and breast milk that we used, and these children are able to digest them. If your child cannot digest whatever you are feeding the child with, that's another problem of its own. Indigestion is a serious problem. Your baby will be so uncomfortable and you start facing another stress. If your baby is not comfortable, you will not be comfortable. So let's do things right so that we save ourselves avoidable stress. Okay. Now you also have lunch. You now want to bring again the single grain cereal mixed with breast milk, mixed with water, or the formula you are using for your infant feeding. Please remember, it's not cow milk now that the child cannot digest. Okay. Then thereafter, it's lunch time. Snacking time will also come. Don't tell me, the baby eats too much. Yes, the baby needs all the milk, all the milk. I told you in the last class, they can eat up to 8 times a day. Please give it to them because they need it for growth and development. And you want to ensure that your baby is growing and your baby is healthy. So get that right, okay? Feed your baby. All right. Now at dinner time, you want to also introduce that same single grain cereal meal mixed with breast milk or the infant formula you are using, and or mixed with water. Okay. Then you also support with breast milk. See, breast milk is not out of question. It must be there. As far as its infant stage, all these Gen Z moms, please hear me very well. God gave you those breasts to feed your babies. I don't care whatever your philosophy is. You don't want the breast to sag. You don't want. Please excuse me. They were given to you to feed your baby. God placed them there for posterity's sake. If you don't feed your baby right, you are putting posterity at stake. So put all the fashion in one corner, especially at this stage of nursing baby. When your babies are grown, you get yourself back again. Look at me, I'm done with childbearing. I'm back again. I told you, yours truly overgained weight after the first birth. I told you that, but I'm not there anymore because after childbirth, my body started reverting. That's it. If you are disciplined with your eating and you have a goal to meet in your weight plan, you'll get there. You will still be fit again. You still get it. Please, let's not starve our babies. Let's not overindulge them. And at the end of the day, we don't have healthy children. I want to see that the life expectancy rate of Nigerians increase, and it's far better. I know that there are other factors that affect it, but the one we can control, which has to do with giving our children the right meal, ensuring right nutrients in our families, let's do those ones. Let's first make the basics right. Then we can now look at how we can, put other factors into control. Right? Okay? Now we are progressing. At the age of 6 to 9 months, your baby can now, begin to eat more solids, right? You will still have to continue with the breast milk, infant formula as well. Then this time you can now add few drops of vitamin D. Okay, remember vitamin D is highly needed for healthy bones and strong teeth. So you can now bring all this into play. Yes, you can bring them into play, but with the advice of your baby's healthcare provider. All right. Now at this stage, you want to still maintain the number of times your baby has been eating from 2 to 6 months. You may want to maintain that, or the baby could even drop. Depends on the baby. He's the one that really determines. When the baby needs food, please just give the baby. Okay. Give the baby meals that are healthy, the ones that the baby can digest. Now at age 9 to 12 months, the digestive system is well developed. This time around, the 3.25 homogenized whole cow milk can be introduced in mixing your whole grain single cereals. And then you want to also make sure that it is iron fortified. At breakfast, you can give such servings, okay? Then at lunchtime, you want to see that what you did before using breast milk and during the 0 to 26 months meal, at snacking time, this time when the baby is 9 to 12 months, you can now introduce strips of whole grain bread. He can now digest things like bread made from wheat, whole grain. Yes, the baby can digest, but it should be in little bits. You must break them. The baby has to be picking. If he can't pick, but if he cannot assist, and the baby has to, eat them as much as he can, or as much as she can. Don't force it, please. Don't force it. If baby just takes 2 or 3, that's what the body can take. Please do maintain that. Except when you see that otherwise the baby is craving for more, you can give the baby. Alright, this time you can now introduce fruits. You can give the baby chopped strawberries, and you can put in some other fruits. Those ones that are not too sugary, the one that are low sugar. Things like pineapple is a no-no, because we don't want the babies to have loose stools, because their bellies are still very soft. Right now, you can want to also introduce in the snacking time after lunch. Remember your lunch time now. You can give the baby meals like pasta, whole grain wheat pasta and rice, chopped cucumber as fruits. Then your snacks could be cheese cubes with pieces of unsalted whole grain crackers. Salt is not too advisable for the baby. It will affect their tongue and all that. When they start feeling sour taste, the harshness of it, they may desist from craving for food, and you cannot tell that it's because of that displeasure. That's why they are not accepting food. You want to make sure that they eat healthily, okay? So let's achieve that. Please, if you are online, you can just give us a signal by saying hello or hi. You just want to drop your comments, and then we move on from there. Now, at the dinner, you may want to also introduce same made meal for the baby, which is the fortified iron whole grain cereal mixed with the 3.25 homogenized cow milk. Okay, that's okay. Then this time around, you want to add snacks that could be, things like diced or flaked fish, right? Cut veggies that are softly boiled or cooked. And you see, these things are what the baby's body can easily digest. They are so soft. So don't overindulge. Don't this always buying biscuit and giving your child just put in the mouth, and so that the child doesn't cry, doesn't disturb you. Please check it. Sometimes what they use in preparing all these snacks, as it were, the baby's body cannot digest them. So why not go natural by using veggies? Chop your veggies, or you can even turn them to smoothies, and just allow your baby to take little per time. Don't overindulge the baby, please. I will emphasize that. Okay? Now, let's see something. Many parents have fears about food allergies. Because you are trying to now introduce solids to your children, to your baby, you have fears. Yeah, I don't blame you. It's normal. You may want to have to test, these solids gradually. You can give a day or 2 intervals between each solid that you're introducing. Make sure you see how your baby react to it, and mark the ones that are acceptable, and you have to discard the ones that are not accepted by the body. Any solid that will pose your child to stooling, diarrhea, please put them aside. Okay? Now, infants especially, you need some tips here to guide you when introducing solids, so as to avoid problems. The first one is that most babies start eating peanut products as from 6 months, but you should know that you don't have to be too hasty to just conclude. Your child may not pick solids at 6 months. Yes, I've had experience with that from so many mothers. It's 6 months time, exclusive breastfeeding ought to stop now. The baby should start taking solids. I don't know why it's refusing. I don't know why she's refusing. No, is the baby still breastfeeding? If yes, please don't be allayed. Don't have any fears. Continue with the breastfeeding, and then see what your baby accepts. Just be introducing. There was a baby I came across of recent in one of my stations, and she will never leave her mom. In fact, we used to mock her and say, do you have Bluetooth that you used to connect your mom with? Do you know why she was that clingy? She wasn't accepting solids. Yes, so I had to encourage the mom. I said, just keep at it. If it's pap, the child accept, continue. Let the breastfeeding continue, don't stop it. And before long, dear friends, this baby, develops and now drags meal with the elder one, as in practically dragging meals with the parents, with the elder one. And the next news I heard was that she's feeding well. She can eat herself and everything is so fun. And she's doing well. So you see, don't just take that general conclusion that babies take solids at 6 months. Then you go and stock your house with all manner of solids and you start bombarding the child. Please excuse me. That's not how it goes. Each child is unique in its own way. You have to know your baby, study your child, and know what is best for your child. Don't compare your child to your neighbor's child or to other babies, and then you want to overindulge the child. Please be very careful and do what is wise. Okay? Now, another thing you should know is that most babies with severe eczema and egg allergies are at high risk for peanut allergies. Now, there are some children who have allergies to egg. Most likely, they're going to have allergies to peanuts. So, when you're introducing peanuts, be very, very careful. Don't say, my neighbor's child is taking it and it's of the same age group with my baby. Why not? Please, you need to know the uniqueness of your child and work with that. It will help you so that you don't, in the bit of thinking that you are doing good, you are causing more harm. Right? Okay? Now we have taken note of that you should be very careful. Make sure that you have checked with your baby's healthcare provider to know what is recommended. If your baby is having allergies to peanut, allergies to eggs, please check with your healthcare provider, the baby's pediatrist, I mean to say, to know what the suggestion is so that you know also what to do. You don't just assume and start taking steps. Okay? When and how to feed your baby with peanut is what you should also find out, if at all the allergy is mild, if maybe the baby should continue. So try to find out when and how should you feed your baby with peanuts. Now let's take note. Food to avoid for your baby under age 12 months. So as an infant, like I said, it's not all solids that your baby can be engaged with. So let's take note. Number one is honey. Honey contains bacteria that can cause botulism in babies. So because it has some bacteria and your baby's immunity is very low at this stage, please, it's a no. Don't bring honey to sweeten your baby's food. No, please. The next one is cow milk. It does not have all nutrients in the first place. So don't use cow milk. Like I told you, they cannot digest it. They cannot digest it. Babies cannot digest it except at 3.25 homogenized rate. That's when they can begin to manage to use it from 9 to 12 months. Alright? Then the third thing to avoid is unpasteurized drinks and food. When we talk about unpasteurized, we're talking about things that are not exposed to heat. Whatever you are giving your child must be something that has been exposed to heat, because in the first place it will make it warm, and also it will kill whatever germs that may be present in it. So don't expose your children to unpasteurized milk, juices, yogurts, cheese, and what have you that have some elements of germs. They will damage your child's health, because he at that time or she at that time does not have high immunity to fight them. They contain harmful bacteria that can cause severe diarrhea. You wonder why children have diarrhea. These are the things that parents don't know, and they indulge their children, their innocent infants, to all manner of food items and meals which they are not supposed to be exposed to. Alright, the next thing you want to also know that should be avoided at this stage is hard food items and snacks that could cause choking. Remember I told us all these Gen Z mothers that like biscuits, they like chips and all the fries and all that. Because you can take it, then your baby will take it. No, please avoid them. They could cause the baby to choke, and that includes things like popcorn, whole nuts, candies. Oh my God, candies! I don't know what will make you to give a baby a candy. The baby will just swallow it wholesome. and that could just choke the baby. What will you do? Please, let us be very, very careful. Let's be very, very careful. Unless they attain the age of 3, where they have developed some of the teeth they can use to break their food items. Please don't introduce things like popcorn, candies, then biscuits. And the baby has saliva now, we soak it, What if the baby doesn't soak it? Like you said, they are babies. They don't have understanding of anything like we do. So what if the baby just, as you just cut it and put it in the mouth, but I cut it now, it was just small. What if the baby just swallows it down whole? You see why it's not good to bring such exposures? Alright? Now, you also want to see that even if, as from age 9 months to 12, they can still manage some solids like fruities. You have to chop them, you have to mice them, you have to grind them. I don't know what you can do to make it easy for them to digest. Just do that. Don't give them to take or munch on their own. They don't have the teeth to break down such food items. Okay, now another thing you should avoid is sugary products. Hello, oh God, this thing with sugar is God that will help us, especially in this part of the world. Africans like sugary things. We are so indulgent in sugary drinks, all manner. Please, these are infants. Their digestive system have not been well developed. Anything you give them that they cannot process can either lead to constipation, indigestion, or diarrhea. So you must check it. Take away sugary stuff from these precious ones. Things like ice cream, things like carbonated drinks. Take them away, dear mother or dear father, because some fathers will think they are doing the best by doing some, overdo. Please take them away. Things like icing, cake icing, they cannot remove them. It could cause stoolings. It could cause diarrhea. Now let's also see something we should avoid. This one caught my attention because knowledge is power. I got to know during my research that we should avoid some fish that are high rate of mercury in them. You and I may not know, but thank God for studies. It's good to study. Now I found out that fish that are high in mercury must not be consumed above 40 grams. 40 grams. Now per day for a baby, especially those who are 9 to 12 months. Okay, fish like tuna, frozen or fresh shark, it's a no-no. Sod fish, it's a no-no. Per month, please get it right, please. I start to be corrected. 4 grams per month. 40 grams, I need to say, per month is what these children should, take. Nothing more than that. Fish that contains mercury is a no-no. If at all is what is available and you don't even know that this is not good for them, it should not be more than 40 grams a month. That should tell you how minimal it should be. Please, let's be very careful with what our children eat. As mothers, as fathers, if you are giving your child, off for care by another person, you are not there. Please give clear-cut guidelines. Make sure that when you come back, you have feedbacks. Don't assume anything. Don't assume anything. When it comes to your baby, your eyes must be down. You must concentrate. You must give it all the attention that is required, so that in the later years, you will be safe, you will be free. You will not start treating what you could have avoided. Okay? Now, let's take some key points. At this stage of human development, there are some key points to note. Continue to breastfeed on demand. On demand, please. When the child calls for breastfeeding, as far as the child is 0 to 12 months, give that baby breastfeed. In fact, all this, I don't want my breast to start. You have to stop it. You have to stop it. If you are around me, you will not dare it. I will tell it to you. You won't. The reason why God gave you is to feed those babies, and as much as they need it in their infant stage, you must be ready to offer it on demand. Please give your babies breast milk. Then solid foods with breast milk or formulas that you have used to feed your baby from 0 months to 6 months. You can continue with them in mixing iron fortified single grain cereals, please. All right, in between meals you can use such as snacks. Then another thing you should know is that offer meals 2 to 3 times daily and work towards 5 to 3 times. As they are growing older, make sure these babies are eating sufficiently. Okay, don't starve a baby. Now when you have to start with solids, make sure you start with iron rich food, things like fish, meat, well cooked and chopped eggs, and iron fortified cereals. All these are iron rich, so these are the things you should start introducing. And mind you, they must be more mashed or grinded to make digestion very easy. All right, next thing you should note is that you should try a small amount of your meal per time, such as 1 teaspoon, which is 5 ml. Just start with that. Don't pack it all at once on your babies, in your baby's mouth. I mean to say, it becomes too heavy for them to either munch or to swallow. Please, 1 teaspoon per time. All right, before you gradually improve it. Okay, for a start, you just have to use that small size. Then at 6 months, you can also feed the baby as the baby wants more. That brings me to this memory. I was doing exclusive for my baby and my son, and I saw that he kept on sucking, and he kept sucking. So it just dawned on me that maybe this thing is not enough for. Maybe I should add something. So I prepared a single grain cereal for my baby. That first day at 4 months and 2 weeks, that was when my baby started solid. He did not wait for 6 months. So you see, children are unique in their way. And when I prepared it, and I used the low protein, low fat milk, I just served my baby. He ate as if his life depended on it. And I sat down and I started crying. It will shock you to know that I was crying. Yes, I cried because I am, being a good mother, not knowing that my baby was underfeeding. I was doing exclusive, not knowing that my baby wanted more. I was, being engaged more than necessary, because we always want to eat, and I will sit down, it will suckle. But I just had this intuitive knowledge that why not try this? And I tried it. That first time, I cried because my baby finished up at a go. And that was how I started. I didn't have to wait till 6 months. So that was unique of him. And that's why I said you should know your baby. Your baby is unique. You don't compare your baby with another. Okay? Do what is best for your baby. And today is a fine young man, to the glory of God. Okay? Another thing you should know is that offer new food at a time. I think I've said that before. You want to be very sure to know what your baby accepts or what your baby reacts to. So you will offer your solids at a time. You may want to take a day or two, to try out new solids and observe to know how your baby is reacting to it. Okay? Then you can also ensure that you supervise your baby's feeding. In fact, that one don't need it for anything. Supervise your baby's feeding. Make sure these babies eat things that are crushed, mashed, or minced. They cannot digest things wholly. So you have to assist in this regard. You have to ground the ones that need to be ground. Like for those who feed their baby with soy powder, which is very rich, you see, you have to grind it to mix with their cereal crops. That's from 9 months to 12 months. That's when they can actually digest that. At 6 months, it's too much for them to do. Okay, So you must make sure that you supervise your baby's feeding. Make sure your eyes are down and you give them the best. Now ensure that meals are well prepared. If maybe anyone is to assist you in doing that, make sure it is well prepared. Okay, as from 12 months old, it is over infancy, babies can eat whatever other family members eat, but in little quantity. So we're going to stop here and continue from this place to see the next stage of human development and what is required to feed the baby. Till I come your way next time, I'm Instructor Faith. Please, the video is still up. You can make your comments, your contributions, you can share, and you can just put your likes and continue to follow my profile for more lessons. Till we meet next time, the top is a portion. Remember that God loves you and believes in you. I love you and believe in you. Believe in yourself. Bye.